11 a.m. my world. I blah blah blah. As soon as my monitor comes up, we're gonna start off, and we're listening right now to an Adam Hatfield track from Denats. So let's get the monitor screen. Say hi when you get here. Let me know if you can hear everything, see everything, feel everything, think smart thoughts, and I don't know, do a couple other things at the same time. This is the last track feedback before we open our new monthly program, which is starting this week, this coming week, like this week. We're doing a new subscription where you can join and get genre-specific feedback and work with small groups of people in your style on Discord with a whole bunch of other new stuff connecting us with things that help you get your tracks ready for release. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you to everybody who's been giving me some feedback on how to do it, when to do it, what we want to have connected, all that stuff. Let's get this going. Click to expand. Okay. So that's the stream. Got the audio levels. I can hear myself on playback. So let me know when you get here. Say hi in the chat. Type in. Say hello, hello, hello. And this week we're going to open up new monthly subscriptions. One of them is where you join the Discord server and you get track feedback in a group, access to contacts and all kinds of stuff like that. And then the level above that is going to be full access to all the courses and hands-on session lessons on the Mix Detection member site, where you can download lessons, do hands-on activities to learn by doing it with sound design, song structure, and mixing, just like we talked about today. And that's going to be a higher subscription level. And the cool thing is you get a deadline to finish the lessons, apply them to your music, and get feedback on your tracks. But we're not here to talk about that. I'll talk about that on the break when we hit a SoundCloud ad. And I don't even need to screen share. We're just doing music, right? So this is Adam Hatfield. Let me start this over because I was talking over the beginning of it. A track called It's My Inoculation. Turn this up a little bit. Ian Waters, hey, what's happening? I got your track on deck. And I got my AC unit off to keep the mic quiet. I'll leave it off as long as I can. We'll see what happens. Intro land. Beats are feeling tight. Intro synth's working. Sounds not bad in the speakers. We had a little crash cymbal announcing a change. Different hi-hat came in. Good technique, build up layers. Yeah, I like this track too. Feels like we need to get a bass line coming in pretty soon. Let's see if we get that. We're at 1:25. Could use a little riser. There's the riser. Matt Schultz. That's a long, slow build. I like the hi-hats that are going like double time. Okay, that vocal thing. That little vocal sound is a good example of a sound that needs to be compressed because it's part of it is loud enough and the rest of it's not loud enough. So when you feel like a sound is dropping out in volume and you can't hear it, that's a great place to take that compressor on that one channel, boost the makeup gain, squash the peaks a little bit to get the whole sound up to a level you can hear it. All right, cool. We got the bass line coming in. A little buzz happening. Yeah, this is a cool track. I like it right here. Get down to like the bass line and beats part. A lot of times this happens at the end of a track. Right here, it's working good. AKA. Now we're at 3 minutes. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. That's 4:07. 4 minutes. Martin Atling. Yes, man. Long, slow risers. Let's get to the next break. Coming in 4:30. I like how the high end is not too brittle. It's not too like, psh. It's like a soft riser. It kind of feels like a minimal track too. There's not a ton of sounds happening. Feels like sample music with lots of little chopped up pieces. Jesper, hey! Got the Tenka in the house. And then the drop into 5 minutes for the last section. I had a little dance party up here last night, so I'm in the dance groove still. Yeah, solid groove. I would compress that vocal a bunch to get it sitting more out front. And I don't know, there's space in the mid-range for like a steady atmospheric pad. Just like, ooh. I mean, that could be me, you don't need it, but like a, you know, upper end of the keyboard range. But yeah, this is a cool rolling track. And let's see how it ends. Going out to 6:15. There's a bass sound. And layers are stripping back. Yeah, those little delay echoes on that vocal definitely could get a little bit louder. And in the middle of the track, it started to feel like I wanted a new sound or a little bit more of a change. Let's just skip through from, here we are, 2.5 minutes, right? After the first. So that's 2.5 minutes, like the first main drop after the intro part. And we've got a new hi-hat comes in, but like, a lot of the bass and synth layers are the same for that whole middle chunk and ending chunk. So what I want to do right now is go back to the beginning of the track, listen to what elements are there, and ask the question, what could we strip out from the beginning so that it feels like we get new things coming in as the track develops? That's a way to keep the track interesting, is strip stuff out of the intro so you get into the intro, and a lot of times the groove and the beat is enough, and you don't need a ton of layers right to start out at the beginning, right? So here's the opening. First idea, that bass sound. Bow, bow, bow. You could totally cut that right now. All we need is like 16 bars of beats to beat match. Down, down, down. So, and here we are, 45 seconds. This part, that stab, like, boom, boom, that could wait a little bit longer to come in. And here we are at 1 minute, and it feels like the track is fully in with the beats, bass line, the kind of stabby synth. And here we are, minute 38, and it sounds a lot like the part at 2 minutes and 3 minutes. So strategically, if you cut off some of the sounds or mute some of the sounds at the very beginning, introduce it with only rhythm and beats, and then take a little bit longer like to introduce each new sound layer. Then when you're doing your main build up and your main drop, you can have a place where everything finally comes in and you're like, now the track feels complete. Because if you bring in all the sounds too early, then when you get to the main drop, you've heard them all, and it feels like there isn't anything new. So don't be afraid to strip it back, get it a little bit minimal. That was Adam Hatfield Donets. Now we are gonna go straight to Frenchcore Frank with DJ Waters, and I'm gonna remember to label this one DJ Waters. And the track is Frenchcore. Frank Sinatra is about to roll in his grave. Well, Frank Sinatra's gonna get up and dance. That's what's gonna happen. Ian Waters. So Matt Schultz said, if the reverb of the vocal has separate dry wet, turn the wet up a little bit, it gives it more air while keeping it sitting more or less where it is. Oh, so I was talking about compressing the vocal because the Some of the little syllables were like pop, pop, and then the other ones were quieter and not as audible or easy to understand or pick out. So I was suggesting to compress it, to raise the level of the quiet parts up and take the peaks down a little bit and just basically get the whole thing into a volume range where you can hear it. Matt was saying volume up. Oh, Ian, for your track, yeah. So Matt's saying if you add reverb and use the reverb as a way to make more ambience and kind of double the volume or get it louder, that can work too. All right, Ian Waters, volume up. Here we go, Frenchcore Frank.
Pack a small bag. I'm getting high.
Lip sync?
I'm tripping on acid, which is a drug I've done.
What is gonna happen?
Come fly with me, let's fly me to the moon. Let's fly away.
To find out more, talk to Frank.
All right, here's our bass line coming in. David Fidele, got your track on deck too. I like this melody, Ian.
Let's take off. Pack a small bag.
Talk to Frank.
Once I get you up there, we'll just glide. Pack a small bag.
Talk to Frank.
Happy?
Relaxed and peaceful and lovely.
Or do you want to see the sky melt and your balls float up into your vision?
Okay.
Pack a small bag.
Okay, we got a sub-bass situation happening here. The sub-bass line is like whoa, whoa, whoa. And the kick drum, let me turn this down because I'm clipping my levels. I want to talk about this when you can hear me. So the sub-bass is like whoa, 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 whoa. It's a huge, nice, big bottom, which is great. The kick drum is getting lost a little bit. I can hear the clack on the front where it's like king, king, king. But it doesn't have that roundness of the kick drum like a bowling ball coming poof, poof. So the kick is not punching through the bass line enough. So right away I'm thinking, turn that sub bass down a little bit, turn the kick drum up a little bit, and just change that relationship on the low end. Ian, how long ago did you start making this? Is this brand new, or is this a couple weeks? Or is this mix 1 or mix 3? Yeah, I like the bells, I like the melody. The synth stack is cool. Vocals in a good level. Basically what happened was we heard the whole intro, and I was wondering, I was expecting the kick drum to come through like really super clear and loud, but when it dropped, it didn't happen like that. So I thought, the kick is not big enough, which is not hard to fix, but it was noticeable. Let me skip ahead a little bit. Ooh, 302. I like the percussion part. 3 days version 1. All right, no problem. We're in good shape. Has the energy.
Going down.
From a parent or guardian before you attempt any illegal substance, and make sure you drink plenty of water.
Make sure you drink plenty of water.
I don't understand how you could not want to see the sky bloom, melt, and drip. A tree, like, rotate. Can dance.
Ian, I didn't know your audience is so interested in gardening.
Talk to Frank.
Je vous demande de vous arrêter.
There we go. All right, now we're in another world. This feels more like that kick drum kind of vibe I was expecting. Oh my God.
Talk to Frank.
This is crazy.
Je ne vous fais pas parler, je n'ai pas besoin d'inventer.
Pack a small bag.
So, okay, cocaine, crack, crystal. Those are uppers. Crazy cuckoo CCC.
Talk to Frank.
Pack a small bag.
All right, now we're kind of like in the side trance world with that like digga da digga da digga da.
Pack a small
3 tracks so
bag.
far. This beat is cool. I'm gonna skip forward because we got a long 7 minutes or something.
Talk to Frank.
Talk to Frank.
We'll just
Here's
glide.
5:30. Yeah.
Pack a small bag.
I'm definitely hearing a common thing of like bass line bigger than kick drum. So
Going down.
yeah, for the ending.
Talk to Frank.
Pack a small bag.
Dropping some beats, Ian Waters. Oh, Talk to Frank is a support service. January Frank. I thought there was something from the movie Donnie Darko with the friend Frank the Rabbit. So, okay, we got basically 3 tracks going on in here. The first one is this bass line like here, that melody. The second one is
Small bag.
4 minutes where it goes to like whole other tempo and everything. And that part, the mix sounds most like your genre of super clear kick drum surrounded by the other stuff. And then we go back to 5 minutes, original melody with the triplet thing.
Talk to Frank.
So kind of similar to what we did for some of the feedback before. What you want to do, what I want you to do in this track is get kick drum levels, Randy Adams up, get kick drum levels balanced throughout all the different song sections. So as we're listening to this track, it could sound like a DJ set from the same moment in a club or something, where you get a kind of consistent kick drum pressure. So in section 1, kick drum needs to be louder, thumpier on the bottom, and dominating over the bass line, because the sub bass was like reggae bass, huge, and there wasn't enough of a kick drum coming through. So get that working. And then in the middle section, relative to the first section, that middle part was really loud. The kick sounded good, but it was like bigger than everything else. So that's like a leveling issue. And Talk to Frank. And we're at the end section. Now it's like, the ending part is like all bass. It's, boof, 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 boof. It's like a distorted kick drum becoming a bass line, and it doesn't have a thump kick by itself, which is cool. That works. Try to really get everything leveled through the sections. All right, Ian says it's only at concept stage for the moment. That's great. So for mix 1, from only 3 days of production, there's a ton of cool samples in there. You're definitely doing better to get the vocal samples riding in a comfortable place in the mix, and getting the high frequencies are so nice in this. I didn't even notice. I remember a couple weeks ago or months ago, you would have these buildups, and we were like, oh my God, it's like staring into the sun. And that problem has gone away. So your high-end control is doing great. Overall mix levels are good. The synth stack was cool. We had melody, mid-range synths. So basically, it's a low-end kind of thing you got to dial in with the low sub bass and kick drum. And we got Randy Adams popping in. Let's go to the opposite spectrum of pace and play David's track. It's called Wednesday Morning, background and origin. And let me just make sure that I got the right link, because sometimes people update it. There's Ruben, I don't want to play, David, did you post an updated one, or is this the Wednesday Morning 528? More replies. Yeah, okay. So get ready for some smoothness. Oh, and Ian, last note is, when I was looking for the kick drum in your track, I did a little bit of a mid-range cut around 500 hertz to duck out some of that bass line thing and look for more space for the kick. Here we go with David. Okay. I absolutely cannot pause this, but I'm hearing a couple little glitches that I haven't been getting in my system usually, and I've seen David asking about this. Are you having tech hiccups? I'm gonna just roll back a little bit. We're at 208. Yeah, this is completely beautiful. Right there, I'm hearing it. Peter May, I see you. Is anybody else having a problem with the stream on your side? My monitor stream is clear, and my broadcast feels okay. But I'm hearing little glitches in the sound. Roll that back. Okay, 246. Yeah, it does sound like a WC. There was a glitch, okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what that's coming from. I don't have too much else running. Close Discord. Okay, we're at 3 minutes. This goes out to 4:45. I don't think you even need strings. Solo piano is enough. I think I hear the reverb space and a little bit of an analog, maybe a little bit of an analog hiss, like a psst. So yeah, there's a good amount of background, like it kind of sounds like background analog buzz or something. So yeah, okay, let me hand a couple of comments. David, that is completely beautiful. I don't think I have any comments. I was trying to figure out if there was a little bit of a glitch in the export where there was a crackle a couple moments, which for this kind of music, it's critical to have it as clean as possible because the people who listen to this are like, you know, sitting in a room where it's just piano and space. So if you're having tech glitches or buffer problems or something like that, let us know because we can maybe talk you through some audio interface setup or some things you can do to like print your effects, turn off your reverbs, minimize computer processing power, get clean audio, and then export it so it doesn't have any of those little glitches because that's something you don't want to have to go in and surgically like delete each one of those little things in mastering or whatever. That's possible but hard to do. Beautiful music, such a nice vibe. I mean, song structure, amazing, chord choice, melody. The voicing at the end of that last chord, I want to hear that again. Let's just go through that. So nice, just beautiful. Really good job. And a nice long fade out on the tail. That's what you do so you don't drop people off a cliff. And then you can hear when I pause it, that's the background effects. A few virtual pianos layered. Do you have any questions on what's what you need with it, because for me, I was thinking, okay, so for mastering, you want to clean up the glitches, get maybe some of the hiss down a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfectly clean, but it does sound a little dirtier than a solo piano might ideally be. And maybe a little bit of compression, like a slight amount of mastering compression, so that you could put this on a final recording at a little bit of a louder level. There is a nice dynamic range, the soft notes and the loudness and everything, but the touch is really good. That's what I was mostly feeling, is like the touch on the piano feels like the person knows how to play, so you don't have to do any weird dynamics control later. Super cool. Let me just check a couple of comments that I might have missed. Maxime, can you wait like 30 minutes to play my track? Actually, I clicked on the link and it said private track not found. Maybe there's an updated one, but yeah, 11:30, yeah. So blip us a message when you get home, and we'll hear from Mark Troy on that. We got Jurgen in here. I want to make sure I see everybody. Ian Waters, I picture an uplifting trance track with that piano over it. Yeah, like if you're at a rave and then like a grand piano comes like flying out of the stage and David's like flying on a piano that's flying and he's like playing. Hook that up, guys. That'll be cool. Yeah, great piano layering and everything. Super nice. So is Ty Slackhouse in here? I know he's kind of on the scene, but for now, let's see, Jesper and Randy Adams. So we're going to go to Jesper first because I think he slapped the link in there. And then David, what was the one with the string layer? I could totally hear a synthetic string layer underneath. The caution would be not to make it too plastic, because if it sounds like beautiful piano with plastic strings, that might not be the right blend. But if it was like a real, a cello, violin, well arranged to fit with the piano and complement it like a, trio, that would just be mind blowing. Okay, Jesper, here we go. Tenka, slap. I'm gonna change the now playing to make sure nobody thinks. Tenka, go. Trying to get better with the labeling so people can watch the replay and know what we're listening to. Here we go, Jesper, Tenka. So far, so good. Yeah, that bass bump, is cool. Here comes bass line, we're at a minute 30. Here we go, 2 minutes comes in. Okay, those stabs are a little bit out of the timing on the micro timing. I would try to tighten that up, because they're like da 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 da. What is that? Okay, I'm gonna pause. Am I gonna pause? Yeah. Something about those upper like chords, like da 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 da, and the bass line are not exactly synchronized, and they're pulling and pushing a little bit against each other, where there's like the downbeat and the upbeat, and the da 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 is drifting a little bit. I'm wondering if those are quantized or not, or if you could get them like so they're exactly locked in with the way the bass line's moving. Did anybody else notice that, or is that just me? The drum breaks. Yeah, Matt Schultz, bass and kick drum could be a little more pronounced. A little bit of 80 hertz low shelf ought to fix that. Let me go back a little bit. 327. Some of those extra percussions were a bunch louder than the main beat. The little blinks that were like ba-boom. Pointed out. We're at 320 right here. Think that one. That thing. I would go to that sound and EQ it down a little bit, or maybe lower the volume, because that one spike is it's a resonant sound. It's a little too loud compared to the rest of the beat. Kind of a detail, but might show up. I love the gaps in the drum breaks and the form. Oh, Ian, okay, the Indian harmony needs to be brought into as it disappears too quickly. That's a cool synth. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, I like this part. Bassline and beat groove. Nice with the sitar delay. We're at 4:15 on the track. That sounds great. That sitar is super cool. And the bass line is a nice pattern. Yeah, vocals could be a little bit louder here, 440. Going up. Yeah. All right, that sounded like the ending. That sounded like a track fading down to be at the end, 5:11. Let's just listen to that one more time. Could you do a little bit of a reverse crash or something coming in to signal that this last drop is, that there's another drop coming, it's not the end of the song? Because right here it sounds like the track's gonna end. A little bit of a riser, a crash, impact, and the sound fading down. Let's go through that one more time, because that worked so well. I want to give a little recipe of what do you do if you want to signal the track is ending. So we're going to listen again from 5 minutes and just count the layers and the signals that communicate ending of a song. So we got bassline, beat, synths, a couple synth layers, chord cycle coming to the end of the chord cycle, riser. Okay, so there's a little riser coming up, a crash and a bass impact at the same time that faded out, and that's what signaled the track was ending. And then there's the melody instrument, the sitar playing. One more time, let's just listen to this without Steve talking. And a reverb and a delay on that melody. And now it comes back and we're like, oh my God, I totally thought the song was ending. That one plink, a little bit down. Now let's check out the real ending. We're at 5:26, it goes out another minute. Yeah, you're the vibe. I like the organic elements too. Okay, I undid the EQ boost on the bass. Now we're getting an ending by cutting some of the percussion layers, like kick drum, bass line, synths are in, not as many hi-hats are in. Oh, this is cool. Now the ending is like the beginning, which is the best way to signal you're at the ending of the track. Cool, man. Good piece of music. Let me remember what I said. So the first comment we had was that the low end needed a little more like beef on it. I boosted up the low EQ, kind of a mastering thing, but that made it feel a little heavier on the bottom. I felt a little bit of micro timing stuff in around 3 minutes. Da, 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 da. Right there. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Da, da, da. It's kind of syncopated. That synth is a little bit syncopated, but it feels a little tiny bit late sometimes. The hits are like dun 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 dun. And the micro rhythm and the syncopation needs to be super tight because it feels like a little bit of a hesitation on that lead, and you want that lead to be pulling people in like really, really like on the beat. So that was my feeling. Jesper, yeah. So we had that. We had an interesting recipe for how to end a track right here at 5:09, 5:02. Just like that is a perfect ending. So when you want to end your track, you don't know what to do. You're in the baseline beat synth stack. You don't have to go cutting layers and fading stuff down. You got a riser coming in. Riser coming in, a crash happens, a bass impact, like one of those IMAX movies or something like that. And then you take your one melody sound and have that be continuing after the impact. So it's like doing a build up to the ending where it's like, and that signals the ending just stops with like a bomb explosion or something. And then the melody had reverb and a delay, and the volume faded down quickly. So it was like a little bit of leftover sound kind of lingering. That's a really good way to end a track. It's kind of sudden, but it works very well for transitions into a totally different thing. So Jesper said, you got the file for this track. All right, cool. Let's go back one track to, David just added a comment. Combination of reverb from VST's stock Ableton reverb, Valhalla Shimmer. You know what? I don't think you need multiple reverbs, honestly. Maybe two if you wanted to have one reverb processing like the early reflections for like the shape of the space, and a second reverb for the long tails for like the washiness. Maybe two reverbs could get it done. And if you could eliminate some reverbs and eliminate some of that hiss or noise from the recording by doing that, that might really help. But I'm not sure exactly where that... I don't know if you had like saturators or tube emulators or something. A lot of VST plugins can add simulated analog noise that, you know, it like warms up the recording and makes it feel more natural, but you can also overdo it and make it feel kind of like too much background static that at the quiet parts you can hear it. So don't go too crazy with analog imitation VSTs if you don't have to. All respect, hey, it's here, cool. All right, Jesper, cool track, man. So priorities on this track from Tenka is number one, low end a little bit louder. Number two, at 5 minutes and 10 seconds, do a little bit of a better transition to show that there's another piece of the track ending so we don't get tricked into thinking it's over. And then there was that one blink, blink sound that was a little too loud, a little too bright, needs to get EQ'd down, maybe even a tight notch EQ. And the transition thing, yeah. So that was pretty cool. Let's go to, we got Randy Adams and then Peter Majewski. So Randy Adams, unknown. I'm going to label it first because I know I don't want to forget and have people get confused. Randy Adams, destination unknown. Here we go. Randy, how you doing? Are you still here? What is this, a new track? What are we listening to here? Let's check it out. Piv clit, reverbs equal phase issues, so don't combine two. Good point. Let me turn this up. All right, Randy, cool, you're here. Good. Y'all, I'm gonna bump this and go refill my coffee. I'll be right back. I can quit anytime I want drinking coffee. Randy, cool track, man. I put this one a lot more on the deep house vibe. I was wondering if it was going to be techno or deep or house or what, but nice and deep. Bassline's awesome. That vocal makes it like right straight into that house world. It's super cool. I also drink water, dudes, all right? I wish I had a mono switch. Does this sound like a little bit of phase in the bass line? That. Where are we going now? We're at 328. Nice long break in the middle. This is where Beatport gives you the preview of this much. Yeah, in the beginning there was Jack. It does have that Jack and House kind of feel. Louder on these vocals, I think. Okay, let me talk over what I was doing here. So in the breakdown, I turned up the master a whole bunch because the overall level was just getting too low. And then the kick drum came back in and the mix feels good, but the middle break section I think could be louder. Let me just rewind back here. So there's a low level beat kind of filtered down, filtering up. That could be louder. And I want to hear this synth right here. Not that one. The bleep. that vocal louder. This. Okay, so that high frequency synth that goes, that can be louder, the vocal can be louder, and the background atmosphere sound in that breakdown can be a little bit louder, believe it or not, because the kick drum and the bass line are so nice and big. That's how I'm hearing it anyway. Nice percussion layers. Yeah, those chords. Stereo field is good. It's like, it's good this way with the highs and the lows, and it's good this way with the stereo. I was just boosting around the mid-range to see if I could find some of that vocal at 1,000 or 2,000 or something like that. Yeah, seems like so. We need to have the vocals louder. Piv Clit, this one's coming at you. Oh, I love it, that little double kick bump. House music is cool because you can do such small drum breaks to signal a transition. Let's hear that one more time. Little pickup kick drum beat, that's all you need. So we're at 550, got the ride cymbal in here. Track stays interesting all the way through, no problem on that. And coming down to the end, coming in for a landing. All right, Randy, solid. Couple of minor mix details, and that one sounded done to me. The sound design, my favorite part was that little bleep. 426, nailed it. So yeah, vocals up louder, that little sound was cool. Low end felt good, beats felt good, percussion felt good. It all felt solid. Randy, only using headphones for mixing. Interesting. So your perception of the low end might be different. My perception of that. Cool. Let's keep moving. Randy, awesome track, man. That's like 90% done. Let's go to Peter May and Dread Euphoria. Get the title in first. Good name, Dread Euphoria. Peter, you still with us? Peter Majewski? Jesper, I think I was hearing it around 2.5 minutes, 2:40. That section in the between like the 2:10 and 4-minute chunk, there was chord plucks that were in and out. Yeah, that is a tight mix for dude, Randy. Making a mix like that with only headphones in your production is like A+. So here we go, Peter May, Dread for ya. Whoa, watch out. Caesar, hey. And the drop, all right. Those little drum breaks can be a little louder. Let me roll back to right here. Those little snare taps and breaks before the drop again, make those louder. They can really jump out. Everybody's like in the 303, working that. Get a wow. I like the synth layers fading up. Audio-Technica. We should get sponsored by Audio-Technica. This is a nice layer. The melody, mid-range, bass line, and the plucks. Aha, that harmonic shift. I remember this track from last week, I think. Let's see what notes we have. Epic empty section here. Got that floating kind of feel. Yeah, Armin van Buuren type. Three minutes, I got a note. Pretty epic, man. Yeah. All right, we got the impact sub bass coming in. Hey, Scott Briggs here. What's going on? Scott, you arrived at an epic moment. We're at 4 minutes in with Peter May. Here comes the snare drum rush. Okay, I just went back and listened in my bass cave, and the low end could use a little bit of work. Let me turn this down to describe it. What I'm hearing when I went in the bass cave where there's super lows, the kick drum is feeling like boof woof, boof woof, where like the tail end of the kick comes in later, so it's like boom 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 boom, and you have the sub bass happening together. So it felt actually like, I don't know if anybody else is hearing this, but again, it felt like the kick could be more dominant and prominent, and the sub could be a little bit laid back. Yeah, it sounds like classic trance. Matt Schultz, you said a little more punch for the low end. I'm hearing that as a little more on the kick drum, like roundness and like bump, and not as much of a long tail on the kick drum that's going boom, 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 boom. I want to roll this back to before this section of beats came in. I want to listen to what the sub bass is doing so we can identify the difference between the sub bass pulse and the tail end of the kick drum. Okay, so here's the 4 minutes. Cool. That's the sub on the upbeats. And then we got the kick coming in. I mean, it's working, you know, but I'm trying to identify what is the low end thing that's happening. Let's skip forward to 509. Last break. Watch out for the sub bass and those kick drum rolls right there. Ian Waters wants the drop to come in harder. Scott Burke, do you have a track for us? I'm looking for your host. Those little drum breaks could be louder. And the 303 is super fun. Fifth clip, what do you think of the low end in this one? How do you hear this? And we're at 6:29. Out to the ending. All right, cool. Peter, are you still here? Where did he go? Great track, man. The feeling. Hey, stop. The feeling is great. The vibe is excellent. That long build up and break in the middle is super cool. I had a mental note at 3 minutes, and what I was going to say, let me play the 3-minute section right there at 2:52. When that bass comes in, 2:52. What I would try right there is don't bring in the bass all the way with the low frequencies sounding like that instrument, yes. But if you high pass filter that instrument and roll the filter down, let me see if I could create that with the EQ, because the track is sort of up in the air right now. There's the wispy thing, the reverby thing, and we're in a breakdown, and it's a little too soon to bring in a low frequency element. So let's just try and listen to that, and I'm going to EQ the lows out and just see if it's noticeable. So we're at 2:45 right here. So it comes in like that with no bass or less bass. So I don't know if you guys could catch what I was doing right there, but I cut the EQ out, like on a DJ mixer, just cut the lows. And then as that arpeggiated bass line, I'm getting bumps on my arm, it's going and slowly, like I was adding bass in. So what you would do on the production side is have a high pass filter up when that sound comes in at 2:52. And then as that 8-bar section extends, let the bass creep down, and it'll feel like the sound is coming from up above to go like thunderous, like and coming down and like going through your body into the floor, which is what you want people to feel. So that's my idea. That's a creative thing. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, but that's what I was hearing. Jesper had to remind me to play a track in 30 minutes. Yeah, waiting for Maxime Chanteau to pop back in. Let's see if we can grab Scott Burke while we're waiting. And Peter, really cool track. A couple of details to fix. I think I mentioned making the drum breaks right in between the drops and those little tiny 1-bar gaps. I'm always a big fan of drum breaks, like cracking loud in those moments. So don't be afraid of those. And I think the last final snare drum, what did I say? There was a kick drum roll that had too much low in it. We're at 6:05. So here's those snare breaks. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Ticka, 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 in between the breaks. Crank those up louder. Those can almost never be too loud. And if they're too loud, you're too old. Scott Burke, all right, Canada. Is this going to be the white pantsuit or not? Okay, Canada, let me change the track title so we know what we're listening to. Peter May, bring that back next week. That is 99% done. And we want to see that in final form. Canada. I'm not sure the name of the track. So we'll leave it at that. People can find you that way. And Scott, is this a new one? Kinshasa. I'm not sure what we got. Ooh. interesting already. Make sure my... Wrong version. What does that mean? Did you paste the... Let me refresh and get another link on here. And it's 12 o'clock. You know what we're going to do? While we are waiting, we're going to do a quick screen share moment. So, if you're watching the replay and you have not joined up yet, this is the time to do it. You're looking at the Mixed Member site, and you can see a couple things up front, namely free presets, where you can get effects racks and instruments and drum racks and mix channels. Preset with all kinds of cool controls, all mapped on the macro knobs. So you can download it, drag and drop it into a session, and play with really cool sounds right away, only using the 8 macro knobs on your push or on your controller. So you don't have to have a super deep, in-depth understanding of sound design or mixing. You can just use these effects racks, touch the 8 knobs, and it's gonna do cool stuff. And I even build them so that if you start from the knobs and go in order, you know the knobs are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I build the racks, so if you start with macro knob number 1, that's gonna be like the first operation to do. So that would be like high pass filter, then EQ depth or whatever. And I build the racks to work with 8 knobs, so it's like a little system where you just go through them in order, and by the end, you've got a cool sound. That's like some of the channel strips where you have the mix tools that I use on every sound built inside one effects rack, like a universal channel strip. You can drag on every channel in your mix, have your gain staging tools, EQ, compression, limiter, high pass filter, gate, utility, width, all in one rack, so you don't have to go and drag and drop every single plugin every time. And if you don't want to use them, you can bypass them. Scott's saying, play someone else's track. All right, I'll do that in a second. Also, check out Intro to Session Lessons. This is where you can get a free hands-on downloadable session lesson. The way I build tutorials, if you're new here, is I build the tutorial inside Ableton Live. It's different from everybody else who makes videos that you watch. These are tutorials that you do. So you learn by doing activities inside Live. It means the lesson makes you make music. And I want you to download this free one here. You can see a little screenshot of what it looks like. There's audio instructions that tell you what's going on. There are activities where you can press play, do things inside Live, and there's even examples with automation where you see the knobs move and they show you what's happening and you can hear the difference, and then you grab those same control knobs and do the same thing. Like I was just saying about macros, I use those as a teaching tool with automation showing you the difference before and after, and then you can grab the controls and do it and be like, oh, I can hear it, and that's how you learn what they are. So that is super fun. Check that out at courses.mixedtexture.com, and these intro things are free. Then when you're ready to go deeper, we've got a really cool course on gain staging that is all hands-on, where you learn by doing it to get your mixes in shape so they sound crisp and wide on the top end, heavy and focused on the low end in mono. And yeah, public service announcement playing. And it's the #1 thing you need to do for mixing. Gain staging, almost every track we ever play, I talk about something related to volume and level and dynamics, which relates back to gain staging or measuring and adjusting the level of every sound in your mix to get them in shape. You need to know how to do it. So if you don't know that, get that course and learn. Then we've got a couple other things, EQing, sidechain compression, super important. The essential basics of sound design. Now, somebody made a really cool comment that maybe I should take the bigger courses and split them out into individual pieces. So in the essential basics of sound design, that is going to be available soon as separate modules where you can go and learn only about LFOs or only about, like if you see the ones that are grayed out on the side, there's the first module on oscillators, wave shape, we got filter shapes, ADSR envelopes, LFOs, arpeggiators, and we go through each one of those synthesizer functions in detail using Operator to explore how they sound, where to find them in Live, what to do with them, how to use them as sound design concepts that open up the world of all Ableton audio effects and actually all hardware synths and VSTs and everything too. So that's a really cool course, and I have each one of those modules as separate lessons you can download individually. Why does that matter, Steve? That matters because next week, I'm opening up a new monthly subscription where you can join for $99 a month, and there's going to be a little pay what you want option, and you can get all the lessons, but one at a time, and you only have 6 months to do it. Because I tried having something where people could have the everything bundle and get access to all the lessons at once. It didn't really motivate people to do the lessons because they were kind of overwhelmed. There was too much at one time. It was like, what do I do? What do I do? So instead of that, we thought up this thing of like, hey, what if you get one lesson at a time, one flat rate monthly fee, and it's kind of like taking a course of study where you pay once a month until you're done, and there's a time limit, so you don't have to pay every month forever for the rest of your life. It's not a mortgage. We're not buying a boat here. You get help picking which lesson, access to all of them, and then you can go through and do the lessons, apply them to your music, make tracks, share them with us, and track feedback. and get better sounding music. And of course, track feedback is moving over to Discord, where we're doing genre-specific track feedback, meaning there's going to be a thread for house, techno, psytrance. All the genres that we produce in the group are going to have specific crews of people where you get to get feedback from people who make your tracks updated, good to go. All right. And this is going to be super fun because on Discord, you can initiate a video chat with your own little cell of producers anytime you want. You don't need me to start a live video so you can comment. It's not about that. It's going to be like small working groups. You can schedule meetings in your time zone so the Australian people can get together, or, you know, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to get up at 3 a.m. to catch live videos. And there's a bunch of cool other stuff involved with contact network, record label connections, mixing and mastering people that can help you get your tracks ready for release, which is the next layer of where we're going with this group. I am amazed at how many people are sending me tracks, things popping up on Beatport, compilations, remixes, people working together. It is super exciting. So thank you everybody for being part of it. And as next week goes on, of course, I'll plaster you with much more promo about where to sign up, what you get, how it works, and all that stuff, because I want you in here. I'm also excited about doing some interviews with other producers and doing some live workshops with tips and tricks of how other people make their music. And now we're going to go into Scott Burke, track called Canada. And unforgivable mic noise. Oh my God, here we go. This is cool, man. It's kind of abstract and chirpy. I like that low end. Do, 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 do. Sounds like Steve Bug. I'm wondering if there's going to be like a section 3 in this track that goes to another dimension with some chords or something, because we do hear that. But this is super cool. Slow triplets. Da, 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 da. That bass line has the rhythm like dance hall, like do, dun, dun, chicka, 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 dun. It's almost like breakbeat, but dig it. Forgot about that little guy in the middle there. Yeah, the sound palette is super cool on here. It's like kind of like clong. Good delay on that vocal. That delay could be a little more wet, a little louder delay. The chords. Oh my God. Nice filter work. We got a thumbs up from Mrs. Waters. I'm gonna say that's pretty high regards. And by the way, there is a download button on this track for anybody who's ready to go. Yeah, Scott, this sounds great, man. I don't have any comments yet. .321, nice break. Wow, the hi-hats are really nice and bright. Matt Schultz changing from cool to warm, right? Wait. Okay, rolling it back, 328. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. No, that ride symbol from bar 7 and 8 on there, too soon and then not enough of it. That symbol could totally work in the track. The sound of this symbol was awesome, but having it come in like that and then disappear, that's not working for me. I want to hear a section where we can finish 8 bars and then we come in and get that ride symbol for a whole 8 bars. Maybe that's going to happen next, but where it happened so far, you don't need that symbol right there. $424, not yet with the ride. Keep it out. And then here you could have the ride come in at 433, or maybe 8 bars after, like 440. That sound is cool. Bow, 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 bow. Okay, we're at 454. Are we gonna get a hi-hat coming in and then the ride? All right, so far so good. I could even hear a hand clap coming in here. Because at the end of the track, a nice heavy backbeat on the 2 and the 4 could keep the energy going towards the end. And then right around here, you could bring in the ride. Keep it, keep it. Oh, man. Now I want that ride to totally stay in. It would totally add to it. Those filters are amazing. What's happening right there? Now that the ride symbol comes in and goes and it's happening enough times that I'm used to it, it doesn't throw me out of the track. It doesn't make it unplayable. It doesn't ruin the track. It's just like, very nice and soft ending. Cool. I like the chirpy kind of feel. Pivclit, some things on the sides are perhaps a bit too loud. Yeah, that could be. I'm in headphones and kind of back and forth, so I didn't really notice that. So Scott, the biggest thing that I was feeling was the ride symbol that came in. I timestamped it the first time. We were counting 8 bars and it came in on bar 7 and it stayed for 2 bars and then didn't continue and didn't come back. That kind of structure is like little visitor going away, coming back, going away. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing of what I said as we were going through it, but basically I would like that to have that ride come in for a solid 8 bar thing. So after this drop, 430, 432. So from here towards the end of the track, like this is great right here. Kick drum bass line, the plucks and everything. And then you came in with the hi-hats. I would think about adding a hand clap and then having the ride symbol come in. So there's like 16 bars of clap with the ride on top for the ending section to just like carry it out at like nice level. Yo, I don't have a spectrum analyzer on this because I'm not going through live. I wanted to minimize PC load. Okay, 5 minutes. Exactly, 5:02. Hi-hats come in. 4, 2, okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now bring in the ride. So at 5:18, that's my timestamp. 5 minutes, 18 seconds. Let there be ride symbol. And I wouldn't complain about a hand clap on the 2 and the 4. Again, my opinion, that's what I feel, that's what I'm kind of expecting. And this is one situation where I'm sort of pushing you to make this like a little bit more predictable rhythmically so that when people are playing it, they're like, oh my God, I can mix out of this track, launch into another house track, and have a really solid 16 bars at the end of this one to bring in the intro of the next track. That's how I'm feeling it. And the main thing, man, the sound design is so nice on this. Let's listen to the ending again. 547. Boom, 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 boom. And now it goes underwater with that filter. You know, 603, I think you could cut that little high chirp because the filters are coming down and the whole track is coming down, the energy's coming down, and that one little clicky chirp is still going like chicka 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 on top, which is okay. But if you want to get super like detailed, you know, 603, hit a low pass filter on that chirp thing so that as the frequency of everything else is diving down, that percussion also goes. And you could do that thing with a really resonant filter, so it's like chunk 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 chunk. I don't know, lots of ideas. Scott said maybe some phase happening, phasing in and out by locating between universes. Jesper, do the opposite and put the hi-hats on 1 and 3. Yeah, could be, could be. Maybe the tom has too much low. Everybody's got spoons in the soup. Gets a stereo sub bum bum. I don't know, but I love the sound design in this track. The world of sounds that you're pulling from just really hang together so nicely. There's like no mix problems at all. It's just crafted like a sculpture. Not making fun of you. I really mean that. All right. Maxime Chanteau in the house. We're going to hear from Mark Troy. Let me remember to change the title. Featuring Nale Bjorn. Down the river. Ooh, what is going to happen? Mark Troy. Down the river, type it right, fingers. Hello. Oh, Ian Waters and Mrs. Waters are having cocktail hour. I'm sitting here having coffee hour. All right, Maxime, here we go. Mark Troy, Nale Bjorn, Down the River, version 2. No, Scott, seriously, dude, those are minor changes. Like your track is, I'm ready to download it, but one more week on this and then get it mastered with Pivot, and we'll be good to go. Here we go. Who's playing that sax? Is that Nale Bjorn? Yeah, lush, man. Oh, I love that little percussion. I could even hear like the triangle on this, like that little, you know, the triangle set. Nice bass line underneath. Matt Schultz getting the feels. How did you record that sax, out of curiosity? Let me rewind. Listen to the end of the sax note. Did you hear that voodoo? It's like, you can even hear like the reed, like the mouth noise on the reed. Is that a rim shot for the snare position? That could be a little woodier or louder, like. What's the difference between gabber and grabber? Seriously, you cut that? Did he listen to the track playing this, or did he just freestyle it? That's amazing. No gabber, no grabber. This is beautiful, man. Totally in the groove, this track. Nice effects on the sax. Got it. Yeah, man. That's a good way to work. It really sounds like it fits so well together. It's so smooth, but you know, I could feel the beats being, you could make it feel a little bit more like forward if just the snare rim shot was a little louder and the hi-hats were a little bit more like just to make it like a little dancier in some part. I'll roll it back. Yeah, the sizzle ride. Let's go back to the main drop, 3 minutes. The sax is so way out front, it almost feels like the beats are a little pulled back, like elevator music. And I hate to say that, but like, I could hear it like more like a closed hi-hat that's a little chirpy, like, and the rim shot. Just a little bit more volume on those percussion elements would bring the track like even more into your body, I think. So it's not sleepy. But if you want it to be sleepy, it's okay, you know. That's kind of my feel. I think I'm giving some opinions today. This is not like a you must kind of do it, but how I feel the mix. Oh, Scott, like a harder remix. Yeah, I guess I'm maybe saying like, you know, if you mix like a more aggressive top loop on here, it could be totally like, and it would take you like more like to make it so you could play it at more like a peak time instead of playing it in a cafe house setting. But anyway, beautiful, beautiful mix. Great sound. Yeah, a lot of good music in the group today. Jesper said, reminds me of a detective movie. And I especially like the bass sound and the tone of the bass. Super cool. Let's see, what else am I gonna play today before the end? It's 12:30. I think we're gonna go with Tice Slackhouse. And then it's gonna be Steve Bike Ride. All right, let me just go back 4 minutes. That one last sax note could have a little delay going at 4:30, but hey, beautiful track. So Pivclit, I think the kick is too loud if it should sound like a live band. If it's too housey, then the kick should be a little more heavy. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. If you wanted to make this sound like it's a jazz group with the sax real prominent and the keyboard being all like people, you know, important people on the front of the stage, and then the drums kind of subdued in the background, the bass like a rhythm section together, you could do it like a live band mix and pull the drums and stuff back. I personally would do it like a house mix with a kick drum, like, doof, and like I was saying, the hi-hats and the rim shot, just a really like crisp as house beats, so you can really feel it. I don't know if you know the band Tortured Soul, they were great at that because they were a live band of keyboard, bass, and drums, and the drummer was singing, and they were great. And the beats were tough. You know, he was like hitting the beats hard, but it was like all, you know, minor seventh chords, groovy bass lines, and they could really pull it back and do build-ups and everything. Maxime's stuck between deep house and live band feelings. I'll tell you what I want right now is deep house beats with live human instruments. It was exactly what you're doing. Live sax, live keyboard feeling, some live congas and hand drums that make it like doom chick doom chick doom chick to get that rhythm, and then present the electronic beats with subwoofer bass, you know, for a sound system, and that'll work really well. And then if you ever do want to play it with a live combo, you know, you could perform it like that. Yeah. Oh, Scott Burke, do 2 different versions of it. Yeah, you could do like the suave version and the teeth chattering version, or get a remixer. Yeah, give us the stems, man. Let us remix this. So beautiful track, man. I'm ready to buy a copy and play that. That one is fun. And we're going to go to Tice Slackhouse. I don't know if he's here. And Tice is working with some little small fry in the family right now, so he might be busy. But we're going to play Whiteout Work in Progress. And this is some more mountaineering music, which reminds me I got to change the title. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, shit. How do you spell Tice? Oh, no. I spell his name wrong so all the time. Levy Mudhouse. We'll do Levy Mud. Yeah. All right, so you're going to watch the replay. No, Jurgen, somebody played the sax. That was a recorded sax, which made it really good. Here we go. Tice Slackhouse coming in with... Whoa. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. Starts out nice and thumpy, interesting synths. Feels muffled, which is like saying kick drum is too big and everything else is not big enough. Yeah. So that's a fun trick. When you have that muffled kind of feeling, I just cut the low EQ and turn the volume up to get everything else on top and in the mids louder. Here comes that synth. I like the groove. See if there's comments on here. Okay, I was just looking at the comments. A couple other people said some stuff about the kick and the sub. Yeah, I like the drone synth too. Wow, 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 wow. Good rhythmic feel. Yeah. And we're out at 4 minutes. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. 4:45. Great progression, so it gets more. Yeah, I think the song form is great. So if you get some mixing work on here, this is gonna be a cool track. Let's skip ahead a little bit, see how we get to the ending. Really nice groove. It's like ding, ticka, ding, ticka, ding. Pivclit says there is too much sub on it. Doesn't need to rumble this deep. You wouldn't be able to hear what's going on in a PA system. That's what I thought too when I just cut the lows a lot and turned it up. I like that little echo. Cool. Yeah, Matt Schultz, definitely. Sound design, groove, vocals, hi-hats, everything's on point. The arrangement's cool, the structure, the form, it's all good. It sounds good, feels good. We just need to get the low end mixing right. And I'm guessing he might have mixed this quickly or kind of while distracted. Can never go wrong with a delay ending for me. Ian Waters, 2 minutes 30 onward. I'm more interested, but I think it's because we couldn't hear all the layers at the start. Yeah, it took, it was kind of a slow burn to build into it, but that's all right. And we're gonna do one more. We got Jürgen and Ty Slackhouse doing a collaboration called Lunar Walk. So let me title this one, and that's gonna be it for today. And Levy Mudhouse, doink doink, Lunar Walk. Watch me type, play the track. I like it already. High frequency stuff is great in here. The melody, that drone. Doo, 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 doo. That's the same rhythm as Scott Burke's bass line. Doo, 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 doo. Boom, boom. Ooh, nice chords coming in here. I'm checking for saturation on that kick drum. I heard a little tiny crackle over here, but I think I might have been pumping up my system a little too much. Ooh. I like that. Let me go back just a little bit here. Okay, this is 143. Checking the clap. When that clap comes in, that always adds such a nice layer. Getting deep on it now, I like it. I like the sub. Boom, 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 boom. Riser going up. Nice. Ah, man, this is cool. Nice sound design. All the sounds hang together nicely. Wow, this sound is cool. What is this bass line? Something clashing in the bass, peaking around below 30 hertz maybe. Yeah. Super groovy for sure. Sesk RL, do you have a track for us today? I don't think I saw one. Me, Luke. I like this track a lot, man. Sketch with the Electron Digitect. So there's some hardware coming in. Low end could be tighter. I like the clap though. Yeah, no, you know. All right. We got a couple low-end comments to work on. I like how those sounds are building up. 440. This track feels like it's almost done, man. I would play this. Ian Waters, chill out tent at the end of a festival day. Nursing your dehydration. Yeah, right? That ending was a little too short. Here we are, 5 minutes. The drums are still in and everything. Can you guys build another minute in the ending? Like, cut some of the sounds out and let that ending just play out a little bit longer. It's such a nice atmosphere. It doesn't need to, yeah, it can't be the ending. Let's listen to what are the sounds at the very ending and what could we, okay. That synth should keep going like 16 bars right here. So what I would do is cut the beats, cut out the ride, the taps, the hi-hats, and the kick and everything, and leave the low bass and that synth. So you got and then underneath, boom, 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 boom. Those two together would be enough, and maybe one little percussion element. And cut the claps and stuff. And then give us like another 8 bars or something at least to mix out into the next song. Because this is such a groove, you know, it's kind of, it gets you nicely into the space. You don't want to rush the ending or force the mix, because what's going to happen is people are going to get hit with a new track, coming in, new sounds, it's going to pull them out of this sonic world before they're ready to leave. And then you're like, oh man, I like that, you know? So, all right, cool. That's going to do it for this week. Thanks for hanging out and watching, everybody. I have one question for you guys who are here. Since you're the crew who's with me the most on Saturdays, what do y'all think about how we should manage live videos when we're in a group with multiple genres? Personally, I would like to kind of pick, well, for me, it's okay to do a feedback with all the different genres in one video like we do today. That's awesome. It's enjoyable. I like it. I can give comments on different tracks in the same moment. What happens if we get a lot of people and we have to do like a video of 10 house tracks or a video of like 10 trance tracks or something? I mean, should I do like multiple days of live video streams with like 90 minutes of feedback in different genres? Or do you think we could do like 2 feedback streams a week and it's a mix of all genres in the video? Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? I don't know. So what do you think about that? There's not much music like rock or reggaeton, yeah, or stuff. I'm happy with that. Can't be the ending. Like every time I've done a survey in the group of what kind of music people make, it's always house, techno, trance, drum and bass, and then underneath that, it's like everything else. So it's okay with me if we don't have all the genres in the electronic world. That's okay. I'm surprised there aren't more people putting dubstep tracks up actually. But so Scott's saying, I learn a bit from other genres too, so the mix is nice. Yeah. So, okay, more days in the weeks, yes. Caesar, cool with more genres, yeah. Well, more genres is gonna come from the group growing and more people coming in and getting like a dubstep section and a hip hop and trap section. And I don't know if the personalities of all those genres are gonna mix. So like, I don't know if hip hop producers are gonna wanna listen to like psytrance and get mixed tips on that. But honestly, a lot of the tips we talk about really are universal. I mean, frequency, dynamics, those things you can learn about from just listening and hearing comments on it. And then song structure tips are not always universal, but some things always work, like a build up and then a cymbal crash, or a drop to create the emotional effect by cutting out sounds and having other sounds continue. So I try to keep things as universal as possible so anybody could get a benefit from the feedback notes, even if you're not producing that style. And then when we're listening to like David Fidele with piano, you know, yeah, his comments are really specific for that listening audience. So I try to make comments that not only tell you what to do with your track, but tell you how that track is gonna hit that audience. Like what's the setting it's gonna be played, what kind of sound system or what kind of club or what kind of location. White noise risers for the win. Yeah, music is music. Okay, I think so too. So I'm gonna aim for doing maybe 2 live video feedbacks every week. Add in another one. We'll have to experiment for which day, maybe Wednesday night, Thursday night, Tuesday night. And the new subscriptions are gonna open up maybe Monday, maybe Wednesday. Some people like to have the billing on the first of the month or not, whatever, that's a detail. The point is we're gonna have 2 subscription layers. One of them is the Discord group with genre-specific feedback, contact network, all the group things of like, you know, video interconnections and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna lay it out very clearly so you can see exactly what you're signing up for, how much it costs, what you get. And then I should get another coffee. And then for the people who wanna come in and do the hands-on lessons, that's gonna be the higher subscription level where you get access to all the courses, all the lessons. I help you pick which one you need next. So you can ask me, where do I start? And I'll help you guide you through which lesson you need. But you do one lesson at a time. You get them unlocked. You do the lesson, apply it to your music, share your tracks in the feedback group. So when you join the upper level, you get included in the whole Discord server and network and everything. And that's what it's gonna be. Tom Baseline, yes, we are at the end. So it's the end for this week, but thanks for being here. So watch for emails and live videos and posts starting on Monday about where to sign up, how to sign up, what it costs, what's gonna go on. Might do a little like intro coupon code for the first week where you could sign up and get a lower rate. And some people gave some great ideas. Like if you want to join for the year, we could knock off a whole month and you get a lower price if you sign up front. And remember, now I'm doing Mixitecture full time. So there is an element of a fundraiser happening here. I'm really hoping that this is going to pay the bills for all the next 6 months, you know, so I don't have to worry about like hustling audio gigs or whatever. And I can just totally focus on the group, the feedback, the publishing things that are happening, making my own tracks, and supporting all you guys who are going through production and questions and everything like that. It's my dream to just do this all the time, help people make music, have fun doing it, make music myself. And it looks like it's happening. So thank you so much for being part of it. Matt Schultz just got a track but didn't finish it. Yeah. And anybody watching the replay, click into the Discord link in the description and join the Mixitecture Discord server. That is free. There are going to be channels for general questions, kind of like production stuff, you know, free plugins and everything. And then below those, there are going to be the paid channels where you get into specific feedback. And honestly, I would love to give every single person feedback, but it's a time limitation. And we're at the point now where the people who want to really go forward and really focus, it's going to be a paid subscription. You're going to be in there with the hardcore producers who are doing it. And we're just not going to have distractions from other people who are kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Yeah, Ian Waters going to be busking on the streets playing Gabbard tracks to yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody. It's almost 1 o'clock. Wow, we only did 2 hours today. If you have any questions, type them in the comments and I'll get back to you. And I'll see you on Monday for the new track feedback post and signing up for our monthly genre-specific track feedback and the everything bundle of learning stuff. Thanks so much. I love hanging out with you guys every week. See you next